Damn, I wasn't even recording. Holy crap. I can't believe I wasn't recording that whole time. This is our pork sauteing in onions, garlic, peach, pineapple, and 3 great green bell peppers, or sorry, red and orange and yellow bell peppers, with some minced garlic, some chopped up onion. I'm a little stuffy, but it smells pretty good. That Mediterranean style Italian seasoning that I put on there, with a little bit of Montreal steak seasoning. And here we have some sauteing mushrooms here. Notice I use the same spoon for everything, because it just does not matter. So the mushrooms aren't really sauteing yet, but they will. And by the time they are fully sauteed, the sausage should be ready. We're going to flip the sausage when I turn my tape off, because it's kind of hard to flip now. Maybe we can do this on video. Cooking easy, kids. Should have tongs, right? And our sauce has mushrooms in it now. A whole bunch of mushrooms. With the cherry tomatoes are going in a minute. And looking good. There's big chunks of whole onions in there. But we don't have a tight-fitting lid. Alright. I have tasted the pork chops, and they're pretty damn good. They taste really good. They're not like strong with garlic or onion, but see, it's got all the chunks of stuff still. I thought it would soften up a lot more, but I guess not. Pork chops are cooked fully, and they're tender and juicy. I wish I could describe it. It's pretty awesome. Now, I think I'm just going to dump that whole thing right into that sauce and add all that and let it soak into the sauce, and then when you eat the sauce you'll get this nice tender, juicy flavor, fruity flavorful, full mouth-watering pork chop. And we'll check on our sausage too while we're at it. Well, we've lowered the sausage a little bit, and I think that we need to turn it up, I guess, because it's not boiling the way it should be. So, mushrooms don't look like they're soft yet. They're not sauteed enough. But once the sausages are done, they also go into the sauce. And that's the key. Cook it separately, but combine the ingredients. When you put it all together, it's freaking amazing. And it's only 5:30. So I've only been really doing this for an hour and a half, which isn't bad. Started prepping at 4. My mess isn't so bad. I crushed my cans and threw them in the trash. We'll be doing the pasta separately. We got 2 kinds. We got the Wacky Mac for the kids. And for the adults we have the rigatoni and the rotini. The Melba snacks here, these crackers, they're like bread cracker things. They're going to be crushed up, rolled into meat, and we're going to make some meatballs. Tune in later. We are still waiting on this mushrooms to be sauteed, and the rest of the veggies that I chopped up haven't really solidified into liquid like I thought it would, but that's okay. It's still just going to be a chunky sauce then, with our sausages that are still in there and cooking up nice. What I do is I rotate, and then all the juices go to one corner because it's not level. And we're just going to let that sit for another 20 minutes, I think. It's 5:42. We've combined the sauce with our pork chop, our Mediterranean style fruity sludge Italian seasoning pork chop, with the fruit and the onions and the garlic, all into this sauce that has mushrooms and whole tomatoes and onions, big chunky ones. So that's getting ready. And our sauce is bubbling up a storm in here. I'm afraid to open the lid. So we're just going to have to tune in later. Okay, now this is Dennis's project. It's an experiment with sausage. I've sliced them so they can soak up all the fruity juices, and there's the sauteed onions, and pretty soon we're going to mix that with sauce, just as we did over here with the pork. Now if we give this a little stir, you know, you can see there's still some tomatoes and whole and onion chunks, and all the pork chops are soaking up all the sauce, and it's thickening. And this is going to be one dish over pasta, and this over here will be another dish over pasta. Sauce is cooking pretty well. It's now 6:08, and I haven't really started the meatballs yet, but I've been cleaning up my mess. My mess is pretty clean. Alright, we'll come back. Okay, here we've started the meatballs. This is chopped meat with, it's a big ass load of chopped meat with 4 eggs, and I put those breadcrumbs in, chopped them up, and I put some Quaker 8 peaches and cream in there also because I didn't have enough breadcrumbs for the amount of meat that I have here. So we're going to mix this up in about a minute and make meatballs. Start rolling them. Let's peek at our sausage one more time. Oh, it just looks awesome. It's almost ready. And this is on simmer just to keep it nice and warm and let that pork chops tenderize more with the sauces and stuff. And this sauce is bubbling away. Looking good. Everything's under control and everything is copacetic. We'll be eating in probably 3 hours because look, it's 6:24 now. Yeah, you can't rush quality. Well, if I could, I would make this one big meatball. As you can see, it's pretty damn big. It's a big ass meatball. I'm gonna probably drop it, being a fool. Alright, but I can't, so I'm gonna make little meatballs. Everything else is under control. It's now 6:29. I'm just getting ready to start these meatballs, and we'll be baking those in the oven. I think maybe I'll just serve the sauce with the sausage and the meatballs separate because we already have a combination meal right there. Alright. It's not easy to videotape yourself while you're cooking. These are my meatballs. I made some big ones. They're in the oven for a little while now. I'm going to have to check those in a minute. But this is how you make the meatballs. You got to slap them together, and then roll them. And there's like a nice art to making a nice fine meatball. I don't know what that is though, but I try. So that's the deal. Try to make them the same size. You beat the hell out of them. I used breadcrumbs and eggs, and I told you, I showed you. And that's about it. Just making meatballs now. Making the meatballs. Making the meatballs. That's what it's supposed to look like. See that? Alright. These meatballs are getting a little bigger than the others. So, can you see my little tray down here, all these meatballs? The other ones are, I think, twice the size. Big fat meatball. I don't think I made enough sauce, and I hope everybody likes my meatballs and my fruity pork chop. And my fruity Mediterranean sausage. Some of these are getting big, so we're just going to have to pinch this off a little. It's too big. Alright, we're just going to stop boring you with all my meatball making. That's how it's done. See? And if you do it right, like Mr. Miyagi, old meatball maker. Okay, and there's my nice little round meatball. Set that down there.
It's easy to create
These are my big meatballs. They got a little fat dripping around the edges, and I think I should have turned them sooner, but they're looking pretty good. They're probably ready to come out, actually, I think. We're just gonna put them back in again anyway, flipping them over. Sorry, I was looking at the meatballs. I wasn't paying attention to my video. Alright, so those are my big fat meatballs. Wow. Right. And these are my little meatballs. Got a few more to make because I still got about that much left. And they'll be going in the oven really soon. I gotta stir up everything, and this is the sausage with all the fruitiness, and it's really good. The pork chop, I think, is just slamming. And then this I left original for just pasta, and if you want to throw a meatball on the side. On Figlios, I've been preparing to sit down for Dennis's last supper.